Hey YouTube, and thank you for joining me for another video today. I know it's been a while since the last update, but I promise I have lots of stuff to fill in the gap. So, what I'm going to set you down for a second, I'm going to get a better angle, and we're going to go over some pictures and paper items first. Alright, so, for starters, we got here some sort of Luftwaffe officer, looks like. It's winter time, he's got a nice big overcoat on. And there's another one in here, some famous building, I believe in Belgium. Also got this right here. This is a pretty nice size photo, nice huge group photo. Luftwaffe, I'm not sure exactly what plane they are standing in front of. And what's interesting is there's two people right here that seem to be having a conversation mid-picture. So, just got these in also with the group photo. Right here you got, looks like some sort of trench or dugout with a Flak 88 and their crew. And written on the back there, 1941, I believe that is. And a couple other miscellaneous pictures here. Swimming. And a couple of soldiers. And a horse-drawn cart of some sort. I also have this autograph right here from Josef Kamhuber, who was, I believe he was the founder of the Luftwaffe night bombers or night raiders. So that's pretty cool. Authentic signature there. This one's pretty cool. German officer in front of Hotel Claridge. And this right here, this is a picture of a group of SS soldiers, as you can see by the collar tabs, and their MG42. Yeah, this one right here is pretty awesome. It's a picture of Desert Fox himself, Erwin Rommel. And I believe it's Herman Hoth right there next to him. But on the reverse is written Rommel and Hoth. So, pretty awesome. Kind of caught in the moment. Looks like they're going over maps or something. Right here, these are pretty interesting. This is the Basilica of the Sacred Heart in France. You can see there's a group of German soldiers right up here. And you can see right there, dated 1942. And this one's also dated 1942. And this is a picture of the Eiffel Tower. Pretty cool. Taken from a German soldier's perspective. This right here, got some writing on the back, and a nice little postcard of some art, dated 1939. And right here we have a Soviet tank crew in front of their T-34, which is awesome. See the turret number up there. And I also have a whole bunch of press photos as well. I'm going to bring those over. Right here, official U.S. Army Signal Corps photo from the International News Photos. Right here, this was taken in Mutzig, France. Shown here are the prisoners taken. 82 of them, when a captured Nazi half-track was loaded with TNT and sent slamming into the wall of the fort they held near Mutzig. So, right here, you got what looks to be a young kid over here watching all of these German prisoners. I really like this picture, though. I've had a lot of luck finding press photos, too. They seem to be pretty available everywhere, and I don't know, they're cool. Nice 8x10 size, too. Right here, Germans bagged in Budapest. German prisoners, some of them dressed in civilian clothing, are marched to a prisoner of war camp where they are rounded up by the Red Army in Budapest. They have not released any figures of the numbers of prisoners taken since they opened the Great Offensive, but the total must run in the hundreds of thousands. And the line just keeps going. Right here is a pre-World War II. This is taken in the 1930s, and it is a funeral procession for, I can't remember off the top of my head, I believe they were Austrian pilots. But right here is the official ABC stamp. Doesn't have a date, but I know this is somewhere in the late 1930s. I have the information on it somewhere. And right here, got, let's see, which way does this go? It goes this way. German rear guards to the American rear. Private Max B. Siegel of New York City leads a group of German prisoners over a snow-covered road in the Ardennes area of Belgium. The Germans were left behind by their units to fight delaying actions against the 1st Infantry Division of the 1st U.S. Army. This photo was taken by Peter J. Carroll, Associated Press photographer. Then it kind of starts to cut off, but it is taken right there, 1945. So, really awesome. A lot of POW pictures, mostly. This one right here is a horse-drawn cart full of French prisoners taken by the Germans. You can kind of read it. There's a lot of stuff going on back here. There's writing all over the place. A couple of, well, you can see it right here. This is the same picture, just in the newspaper. French and Belgian prisoners in horse-drawn carts. Right here is a little clipping dated 1940. And right here for these two, Germans march through Anzio as prisoners instead. This is a couple of American soldiers here escorting a column of German POWs. Marching through Anzio on the Italian coast, these German troops returned to the scene of earlier fighting, this time as prisoners of war under armed guard, headed for a detention compound. And I can't remember if this one had a specific unit in it or not. I don't see anything immediately. And for this one right here, this is German prisoners. Let's see. This is in England. You got tanks in the background. And a big old column of prisoners. Let's see. Marched down an English street, guarded by armed soldiers on foot and in tanks, headed towards a prisoner of war stockade after their capture in France, 1944. And I have a few more paper items. These next couple that I'm going to show, I think, are going to be classified as crown jewels for my entire collection, honestly. The original item that I had bid on, oops, I want that to fall, is this right here. And this is a beautiful 8x10 group photo. Sorry for the glare. And this is the crew of the Enola Gay that dropped the nuclear bomb on Hiroshima. If I can get this last one pried off, I'll be able to take it out of the frame and show you guys the back. There we are. And this is signed right here by Paul Tibbets. It's an original autograph right here. And he was the pilot of the Enola Gay, who named the plane after his mother, believe it or not. Right here on the back, Hiroshima Atomic Bomb Crew number 6 of 7 pictures. Flight crew of the Enola Gay, left to right. And you can see that he is right here. Paul W. Tibbets, 509th Group, commanding officer and pilot. And what came with that was also, oops, a little index card, again with another signature on it. And a picture, a more recent picture of him. And also what came with that, and I was not didn't even know was in there until I opened it, was this. And this right here is a little credit card size piece of aluminum. And this is aluminum from the B-29 Super Fortress dock. As you can see, this is all engraved, actual dock aircraft skin. See the engraving. And on the back, it's got Boeing. And gives a little bit of information about dock. It was built in 1944. It never saw combat in World War II. However, it did serve as training aircraft during the Korean War. And it was restored from 2000 to 2002. Boeing, Wichita, United States Aviation Museum. So that was pretty awesome. If you want, you can look up the story about Doc. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty long story, though, and this is already going to be a pretty lengthy video. So moving on here, I found this at the flea market. Nice Life magazine, dated April 23rd, 1945. It says President Truman. Everything's in there. There's a lot of really cool ads in this one, too. And back here, I have an awesome certificate, Proclamation, Land of the Midnight Sun. And this, it's blank, which is kind of cool, honestly. Isn't named, unissued. It's an awesome shape, too. There's no tears, or it's not really crinkly or anything like that. But this is given to soldiers above the USS South Dakota. It says right here, to all seamen wherever you may be, and all icebergs, polar bears, whales, narwhals, and other creatures of the frigid north, know ye that blank did on June 7th, 1943, appear in the northernmost reaches of my realm, embarked in USS South Dakota, latitude 6633 and longitude 2143, bound for the dark and frosty waste of the land of the midnight sun, which is up in the Arctic Circle. So pretty cool. This is Blue Nose member over here. There's a whole bunch of little drawings and stuff like that. Polar bear is pretty cool. And I found these next couple items in a barn sale. Got this nice chromed 40mm pom-pom shell, dated 1944. And I also got this big, huge thing. This is a official World War II U.S. cooking pot. Haven't seen one of these before. So it's sitting with a bunch of other like old pots and pans and stuff. It wasn't even where some of the other military items were. But the only reason I caught my eye was the lid up here. It had U.S. on it. This says it is S&M Co. 1943. And as you can see, it is dirty and gross, but it's pretty cool. I think I paid 20 bucks for that too, so not a bad deal. And I also found, set that down, these pair of leggings right here. If you open it up, can't exactly read what that one is. September 22nd, 1944 though, and they are a size medium. They both got the laces for it. Frowerlich or something, I think. Yep, nice matching pair of gaiters. And I also found this right here. Just a World War I, what I thought was just a World War I mess kit. But I looked at it and I was like, oh, look, a little design or something in there. So I opened it up. There's nothing else in it. It's just the lead and the pan and a really rusty handle. So let me put this one back on. This one is made by, I think that's, I can't even read that. No, the middle initial looks like SU something. 1918. And then on the back is A. Visiak. I haven't found anything on them yet, but thought it was cool that it had a name, and it looked like, this one back up, they kind of look the same. It's almost like he tried to start on the lid and then changed his mind. Because, I mean, the A and the V are, you know, I don't know. Still cool though. I think I only paid like $5 for that one too, so that was exciting to find. And I just got this in yesterday. Right here, take a look at this. This is a very, very worn, I think it's an M40. I haven't had a chance to really look it over yet. But it's still got the winter camo on there, which is awesome. Nice rusty hole in the side and a big crack down the top here. It's missing part of the brim right there also. But nice part is this decal over here on the side is still pretty awesome. You can see the feathers there on the eagle still. So the detail is still kind of there. But that will go awesome with all the other beat up helmets that I got. And I also got this guy right here. This, the M38 M1 Sherman tank scope. Dated 1943. And I don't know if you'll be able to, yeah, probably not with the glare. But this thing is wicked heavy too. And if you're a Star Wars nerd like me, I actually didn't realize this. George Lucas, I knew that he had used World War I and World War II surplus weapons to create the Star Wars guns and blasters. But this is actually the scope on the Stormtrooper's E11 blaster, which is pretty cool. And right here, I got this for my birthday, which was last week. This is a nice Camillus jet pilot survival knife. Where is it? There it is. Camillus, New York, February of 1976. Nice leather handle, though. Blade is still pretty sharp, although it has been used. My great uncle was moving, and my mom ended up getting this from him before he, moved out of state and whatever, had this get sold to somebody else. So I have to do some more asking about it. I'm not sure if it was somebody in the families or not, but the sharpening block is missing. But that's all right. Pretty cool little knife, though. And I also have a patch right here. This one is the 21st Airborne Division, which was a Ghost unit. Does not have the Airborne tab with it, but that's all right. And lastly, I have in this bag right here is a whole lot of paper stuff. I saw this at the flea market and asked the guy. He said, "Oh, the seller, he was away for a minute. He'd be back." And he said, "Oh yeah, I think he's got 150 on the bag." And I was kind of discouraged because it seemed like a lot for what was in here. Just a little bag of paper. But as the guy came back, I got to talking to him, and this was all his father's things. He was in World War II. He was an engineer, I believe. Here's a really nice, he was in the 19th Corps right here. So this is a newspaper printed in Germany. And right down here he has Syracuse, New York underlined, so I don't know if he knew him or not, but it's a couple pages. Nothing big, but I don't want to unfold it all the way. But he said he wasn't sure why he was selling his dad's things, but, he was. And he had all the info on him and whatever, so I was sitting there talking to him for quite a while. This right here is pretty cool. Hitler trots out secret weapon, may be guided by remote control. And I think this was the J2, J1 flying bomb, something of that sort. So there's like a little clipping on that. And there's a little map right here that was cut out. Pretty awesome. And another one right here. This is really unique too. This is a franc from France, and it is signed by a whole bunch of people. I haven't made all the names out. I haven't really looked at it too close either, so... and there's one on the back as well. So that is awesome. I got to put this in a nice plastic sleeve. Newspaper article not related to military or nothing. Right here though, these couple of pieces of notebook paper are pretty interesting. Right here, he wrote down every place that he went to and all the dates. Left the States in February of 1944, arrived in Scotland, boarded ship to France, held up from weather, and landed in France on Omaha Beach, June 27th, 1944. Then went on to Belgium, Holland, Germany, tours that I know I have been in. Scotland, England, here's all the places in England he's been. All the places in Germany. Look at this stuff. And there's more on the back too. England, France, Belgium, Holland, more in Germany. It's crazy. Let's see. This one. Jump off across, I think it says pier at 3:30 a.m. Objective, the Rhine River. Crossed something on Monday, February 26, 1945 at 2:30 p.m. on bridge built by the 554th Engineer Battalion. Crossed Rhine at Wessel on April 6, 1945. So that's just awesome that he's kept all this written down and documented. So I want to find a nice way to display this little notebook. And there was also a whole bunch of pictures, and the guy's son was telling me all about him and stuff. It was really cool to get to talk to him. This is him at Georgetown University, sitting out front. Here he is, some big old glasses on. The opera, really cool opera house here. This one says Billy Petrell, which I think he's mentioned in all these letters too, which I'll get to in a minute. I think it was his brother actually, because here it is. Picture of them as kids. Billy and Ted Petrell. And here's something pretty cool too. Here's a picture of the Eiffel Tower again. It says Eiffel Tower on the back. Another picture of them. This is pretty cool. Let's see, what is this one? Bathhouse at Nonheim. Yeah, at the Nonheim. But all these pictures are just really cool to look at. Tells you a lot about where he went and everything. Town Square in Bootsbach. Here's a studio picture of him in 1945 in Paris. Really cool. And his son had told me he was driving in a Jeep and they had crashed because they couldn't, the headlights really didn't light anything up, I suppose. And they ended up hitting a tree, and he lost all of the teeth, all of his upper teeth, and went, X amount of years without having teeth. But there is a couple of things in here that mention, like right here, it even says teeth right here on the front, which I think is what they wrote down to keep track of what each letter was about. But that's pretty cool. There's a picture of him a little bit after World War II, I think. And then there's a bunch of older family photos of him. So that's cool. But there's all these right here. There's 20 of them, 20 letters. And these are all from 1945. And he was Battery A, 195th Field Artillery, I believe. Yeah. 20 letters. I haven't read through them all. And he was also right here. my teeth up here. He's pretty local too. So I'm really happy to get, you know, more local stuff like this. I can't get enough of it. And he threw in this pretty awesome book for free. He said he's got more pictures and everything, all of his dad's old pictures and stuff like that. He said he was going to call me. So I'll see how that goes. But he also threw in this. It's a nice paperback, big, huge, nice book, though, of Norman Rockwell's art prints about World War II. I think he wanted like $15 or something for this. But there's a whole bunch of big art prints and stuff. That's pretty cool. So, yeah, I think that is going to wrap up today's video, guys. But I want to thank you for liking and commenting, subscribing, all that stuff. Love to hear from you guys as usual. And we will see you guys in the next video.